Let's go ahead and save that. Okay, so once again, everything added up over here. And this wasn't an eBay item, so we're going to leave this field blank. But once again, if it would be, all you would have to do is go on eBay. And then you would take the URL off of eBay and enter it right over here. That way we could always trace this back. Okay, everything looks right, $385.75. We're going to go ahead back to the transaction where everything's being calculated. We have all of our weights. At this point in the transaction, you're going to want to print the buy sheet. Right now, the way that you guys are printing buy sheets is you have to click on send an email, select the template. What you will see once we go live is up here, there's going to be the same way how we have the edit and clone button, there's going to be a button that's going to say print buy sheet. You're not going to see this right now, but you will see this when we go live. When you click that button, the buy sheet will open up in its own page, and you just print it, and that's the buy sheet that you're going to present to the customer. So you've printed the buy sheet, and you've presented the price to the customer, and the customer, let's say, has an objection. And you could go ahead and call your CSM, and they're going to go up on the price. The one thing you're going to start noticing is the CSMs will always start giving you the price per section. So once you tell them what you have in your collection, they will tell you, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, you can go up by X dollar amounts on the gold and silver jewelry, or you could go up X dollar amounts on the coated and specialty items, or whatever the sections are. So let's say in this case we called the CSM hotline, and they said that we could go up on the gold jewelry by $150. So you're going to see two options. One is where you could just enter $150, or two where you could enter the total amount. I'm going to go ahead and enter $150, and one thing I'm going to show you right now, if you click save, it will require you to put in the code for the section. You can use the same code in multiple sections because you're talking to one CSM, and they say, okay, you could do $150 for this section and $50 for the other items. Or you might be speaking to different customer service managers. You might speak to somebody in core about the specialty items, and somebody in Lisa Hill's department about the jewelry. So we're going to go ahead and enter test code 2. And let's say Lisa Hill. Let us do this. I'm going to go ahead and save it. If you scroll down, you're going to notice that now it's going to show you your individual totals up here, so the price that we started from. Then it's going to give you the original subtotal, whatever you went up by, and now your grand total for this section. When you go back into the transaction, the other thing you will notice is the totals over here. You're going to have your total original offer, total CSM value, total final offer. And this CSM value will go up anytime you go up over here. So let's say the price cap and sub, we could also go up on the coins, and we could give them another $5 here, or we could actually give them a total of $47. Once again, it was Lisa. So we're going to go ahead and put her name in here. You want to put in the details of what did Lisa actually tell you. You know, I'm just writing this to show you as a test, but you want to put in the details. What did she say? It's okay. Is it a specific situation? Did we go up because this coin was somebody's grandfather's coin, and you know they think it's worth much more? So we went up on price. So now the new total is $47. You could only use either the CSM bonus amount or the CSM total offer amount per section. So you can't use both. It's either or. Once we go back into the buy sheet itself where we have the customer's information, all this information is going to be on here. So we're going to go ahead, look at this information. Everything looks nice and good on here. We have the codes. We actually did not have to go up on the gold coins, which is great. And then we didn't have to go up on the specialty items. We only went up on the gold and on the coins, on the silver coins, so everything looks good. The next thing you're going to want to do is fill in this information. If you notice, right now, if I'm going to try to change this from prospective to purchase, it's not going to let you. You need to enter at least one tamper-proof bag number, and you need to enter all of the customer's information. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that out, and you guys do the same, and I'll get back to this video in about a minute. So I went ahead and I filled in all of this information. Once again, in order to save this record into a purchase, you're going to need to fill in everything that you can. The couple things you might notice over here, we do have an opt-out button. Only if the customer asks you that they don't want to get any phone calls from us or any mailings from us or emails, then you click the opt-out button. And then you'll also notice a Craigslist URL. Some of you guys are very good at finding these people on Craigslist and getting them to come into the show to sell their jewelry or to sell their collections. So if you found them on Craigslist, go ahead and put in the Craigslist URL of the listing that you found. That way you guys could get proper credit for it. We have the bag filled out over here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to change this into a purchase. And what you will notice is once you do that, there's still an error. You have not given the customer the check. So if you scroll down to the bottom over here, you'll see that the total payment amount, this is what you've already paid the customer, and you owe the customer. So we still owe the customer $1,502. We're going to go ahead and write the customer a check. So you're going to click on New Checks. You're going to put in the check number. And you're going to put in the dollar amount. This is also good if the customer asks you for 2 or 3 separate checks. If they want to separate it amongst their kids or grandkids, you could do this in here. You just click on check, you're going to enter a check number, you're going to enter the dollar amount, and you do this as many times for as many checks as you have. You're going to save this information. If you notice now, you owe the customer $0, so we wrote this customer 1 check. We don't owe them any more money. Same thing on this page. You owe the customer $0. Everything looks nice. This information again is right in front of you. They ask you, "Oh, how much did you give me for that ring?" You could always say $154.50 extra on top of it. The one thing you will be noticing on the new buy sheets is it will not give the CSM amount until the grand total. So it's going to give you a subtotal on the right hand side, then it'll give you the CSM amount, which is anything we want to buy between any of the transactions, and then you're going to have your grand total. This is going to be very helpful if you only need to go up for a specific item. Let's say somebody's very valuable to them ring, but you don't have to go up on anything, so you could say, well, here's the money that I gave you for that specific ring. Now you'll be able to go ahead and change this into a purchase and save this. Once this transaction is saved, you cannot edit any more of these areas. If you need to edit something for any reason, it's going to give you an error message, and what you'll have to do is you're going to have to call your RTL, and they're going to need to unlock this transaction for you or edit this for you. So make sure that everything is done before you print the final buy sheet that the customer is going to sign. If you look on here, all the information is going to be filled out for you. And then once this is ready to go live, there's going to be a button up here and down here which is going to tell you to print the buy sheet. You're going to go ahead, click on that button, print the final buy sheet, have the customer sign it.